Ezra Pound was an American poet, critic, and editor who played a significant role in the development of modernist poetry. Born on October 30, 1885, in Hailey, Idaho, Pound spent most of his childhood in Wyncote, Pennsylvania. His parents were both involved in education, and Pound showed an early interest in literature and languages. He went on to study at Hamilton College and the University of Pennsylvania, where he earned a degree in Romance languages. After graduating, Pound spent several years traveling and studying in Europe, where he met many of the leading poets and artists of the day, including W.B. Yeats, T.S. Eliot, and James Joyce. Pound became a central figure in the literary circles of London and Paris, and he was instrumental in shaping the direction of modernist poetry. Pound's early poetry was heavily influenced by the Imagist movement, which emphasized clarity, precision, and economy of language. His first collection of poems, Personae, was published in 1909, and it was followed by several more volumes of poetry, including Lustra and Hugh Selwyn Mauberley. Pound's poetry was known for its complex imagery and use of allusions to classical literature and mythology. In addition to his work as a poet, Pound was also an influential critic and editor. He helped to launch the careers of several young writers, including T.S. Eliot, James Joyce, and Ernest Hemingway, and he was a vocal advocate for the importance of literature in society. Pound was particularly interested in the relationship between art and politics, and he became involved in several political movements over the course of his life. During the 1930s, Pound became increasingly involved in fascist politics, and he became a supporter of Benito Mussolini's regime in Italy. He moved to Italy in 1924 and spent much of the rest of his life there. Pound was highly critical of the United States, which he saw as overly materialistic and culturally bankrupt, and he expressed sympathy for several fascist movements in Europe. Pound's political views eventually led to his arrest and imprisonment after World War II. Pound was charged with treason for his broadcasts on Italian radio, in which he expressed anti-Semitic views and criticized the United States. He was confined to a psychiatric hospital for several years, and he was eventually released in 1958. After his release, Pound returned to Italy, where he continued to write and publish poetry. He died on November 1, 1972, in Venice, Italy, at the age of 87. Despite the controversies surrounding Pound's politics and his anti-Semitic views, his influence on modernist poetry cannot be denied. His work helped to pave the way for the development of free verse and other experimental forms of poetry, and his ideas about the importance of literature continue to resonate with many writers and scholars today. In conclusion, Ezra Pound was a complex and controversial figure whose life and work continue to fascinate scholars and readers alike. His contributions to modernist poetry and his role as an editor and critic have had a lasting impact on the literary world, while his political views and actions have generated ongoing debate and discussion.